Alright guys, welcome back. It has been a while, so volatility has chilled. Big Bear. We're back to watching the smaller cap names where a lot of people looks like feeling the FOMO. So I want to go through this chart, through this stock. We have been covering this many times. If you're new to the channel, you can just go take a look at the latest videos. So essentially from last year, 2024, every pump and dump essentially. So last time looks like I talked about this one, February 28th. Ever since I haven't covered this name, February, March, April. So it's been a while actually, 3 months now. So $5 IV crush, 30% decline, 50% decline. So what's going on right now? So today I saw a lot of people were getting a bit excited about this name, and plus it was having decent option activity. If you take a look at the put to call ratio, and for a lot of people who don't follow the markets, I mean, for the most part, it's been very like flow driven market in the last, I want to say, let's say 5 years. I don't know how long have you been watching the market, but even Big Bear, when it was pretty much having these squeezes, when it had, there was a recipe for it to go higher, including like CEO change and like catalysts, short interest, option activity was the main one. And today, well, 112,000 calls traded and only 8,700 puts traded, meaning there were a lot of people trading calls. And just by looking at the activity, I'm seeing people, a little bit cautiously, people are betting on this one. Again, you have to do your own research on that one, but I'm seeing so far like June, end of May, so it's not too far away, 1 month out. $4 calls, $3 calls were being traded, and that's why you saw this 10+% move. So let's take a look at the price levels, and I'm gonna go through the dark pool levels and as well as short levels, I mean short interest. So this stock is, you can see, I mean, it has done many times these round trips. This is the definition of a pump and dump. Okay, so when stock goes higher, breaks out from certain price or takes off from certain price and returns to that very same price, this is the like pure definition of a pump and dump. Okay, so last time we saw this stock essentially took off somewhere around like $2.50, went all the way to $10 and came as low as very recent lows, $2.40. So, but this time around, since it happened very like, I mean, recently, considering like what, 2 months or so, there are significantly more people underwater or back holding the stock, and there's so much volume here. So in order for this stock to get going, let's say take out its $10 high, well, it has to fight through every single seller. Essentially, resistance is pretty much people breaking even, running away. It needs super big catalyst. It could be their earnings report, partnerships, deals, and all sorts of stuff. But today, I don't know what happened, but this is a $1 billion stock. Okay, so if it wants to go back to $10, it has to be at $3 billion valuation. That's a very large move. But on the other hand, can it push towards 5? Yeah, maybe possible. I'm watching 380, and I was watching this 380 as a resistance today. So if it builds above this level, sure, the next level of a resistance, I would be watching $5. But we're not gonna run ahead and talk about how high it can go. But ultra short term, if it gets going, like if it tries to push higher, sure. But on the other hand, I'm not super optimistic, and I don't have a position, or I'm not trading this stock. Purely on one side, I was just taking a look at the daily shorted volumes. Since the stock was trading at those lows, there wasn't much of an appetite for shorts, like in terms of like daily in and out. So if I saw, let's say, 60% of the daily volume being shorted every single day and then stock started pushing higher, sure, definitely I would have joined some of those call buyings, but I'm not betting on that one. But again, there's always somebody who knows something when significantly large flows come in and stocks tries to pretty much push with the option activity without any catalyst, without any news. So there could be some news coming out, I don't know, or I don't know when they're going to report next earnings. So last time they reported it looks like they reported recently, May 5th. So there's a lot of time until next. So whoever is trading those June contracts, they're not covering next earnings. But I don't know if there's going to be any other news getting dropped. So let's take a look at so option market bullish, but short interest is not as high, I would say, in terms of like daily. But we can also take a look at the total percentage from the float. Yeah, 20%, it could be a lot, but again, it doesn't take too much of a volume to cover it. Considering today's volume where it traded 100 million shares. So that's what it's outstanding so far. So after this huge run up with a decent volume, pull back after earnings, and then if it's trying to, let's say, do this ABCD pattern where it can try to break out of this high, ultra short term, maybe, yeah, it is forming some sort of a uptrend. But I'm watching this level, and then I'm watching 418 gap fill area, $5. But another thing is I want to show before we wrap. Let's take a look at if there's any big orders that came in to buy this stock at lows, maybe. So this is volume leaders that I just keep an eye on in terms of like dark pool prints. If maybe people started accumulating at those lows, could be possible, but I'm not seeing like large orders yet, like historic large orders. If we go, let's go 1 year, did any people accumulate at those lows? I'm not seeing. So, but on the other hand, yeah, this is the area, March 21st. That's the only like rank 17 I'm seeing, like $6.8 million order. But you could see where the sellers were very active. So I want to see something like this, where maybe as it stocks tries to push higher, maybe like large orders would come in, something like this, accumulation phase. Then sure, that would give me basically another check mark that this stock wants to push higher. Other than that, it could be for me purely like a dead cat bounce where everything is else running on a market squeeze and on like tariff headlines. So it may be like short-lived. So that's my take for Big Bear. Again, I'm not telling you to buy or sell. These videos purely for entertainment purposes only. So I'm watching the stock is essentially neutral, and if it starts pushing higher, I think it's going to be short-lived, and it may not just run away to, let's say, 5+, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 levels. So that's my take for Big Bear BBAI stock update. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.